So today I watched a video on Kurt Yu's YouTube channel, Acting Career Center, on the Meisner technique, and he talked about it in an interview with his former teacher Jessica Wades. I'm not sure how to pronounce her name correctly. Yeah. Um. Anyways, they just talked about the Meisner technique. So, what is the Meisner technique? Um, the Meisner technique is an acting technique developed by Sanford Meisner in the 1940s, and this was made during a time where a lot of actors were getting uh, were getting into character, and they would recall emotional events during their life. So if you had an actor who was trying to get into a character, they would call a maybe a traumatic event when they were a child, or a an event where they were a teenager, because their character was emotionally similar to them. And because of this, he thought maybe there would be a better way to do this. So the way that Sanford Meisner did this was he thought of a way of using daydreaming in a way. I think that's how it kind of works. I don't know the entire specifics around it, but from what I gathered, that's kind of how it works, using daydreaming as a way of getting emotionally into a character. And the entire point of this was, of course, to avoid the emotional trauma of people's own individual lives, but also to be more present on what was happening in each of the scenes of every actor and their character. So, yeah, that is what the Meisner technique is. And how do you use the Meisner technique? How do you get into it? Well, there's a bunch of different exercises for it. There's like a full on course where teachers are dedicated just teaching this technique, because it's like one of the most famous acting techniques out there right now. And the most famous, well, the first exercise that I know of um, is the repetition technique. So, say you were in a scene with a character, you would essentially, it would ask you a simple question like, your shirt is blue. And then they would respond, my shirt is blue. And they would repeat that over and over. Now, the entire point of this exercise is to just get out of your head and focus on what is happening with you and your partner. That is the entire point of this exercise. It's not thinking about how you are sounding. To not think about, you know, if you're delivering your lines correctly, or anything remotely like that. Just focusing on what your partner is and reacting to that instinctively without having to think about anything else that is going on and to just be present. That is the biggest one of the biggest points of the Meisner technique in this exercise. I don't know the rest of the techniques because they don't talk about it, but yeah, that is the Meisner technique. Um, yeah, that's all I have to say.